We're about to make another scrapbook layout with a fantastic border technique. This time we're going to use the arch shape. We're also going to be using the welding technique today. And so this is going to be made with a single sheet of paper. And it's one with a good contrast front and back. I'm going to have a single photo. And because of the contents of the photo, I'm going to use this photo placement mat from Creative Memories. And so let's get started. The first thing I want to do is make sure I have my paper well centered on my Creative Memories mat. So I'm going to put repositionable adhesive on the mat to keep the paper steady for this whole process. I'm going to be referencing everything on this R line on the template, as I'm using the arch curve of the template. So I want the R line on the 1 inch. The R line on the 1 inch. So I have placed the R line on the 1 inch on this side. It says 11 inches on here. I'm going to, as usual, pull out my tape to hold everything steady. This is important on this design. Now, everything is steady, and I'm going to use my red blade. Now, because this paper is directional, and I want my cut to be horizontal. That's why I have this on the mat horizontally. But note, for me, it's awkward to cut like this. So I am rotating my mat so that it's easy for me to cut towards myself. I'm using the red blade. That's why I was using the R line. And I'm just slowly cutting. I see there was a spot that didn't seem to cut too well. And it appears that I have a good cut all the way up. I do. Now, I've done something similar to this with one of the other templates. So now I'm going to take my template and I'm going to slide it down to my R line is on the 2. So my R is on the 2. And over here, it'll be on the 10. So I now have my R line on the 2 on this side, and it says 10 on that side. And once again, I'm going to tape down my template to keep it steady so it doesn't shift while I cut. That looks like I have a good cut all the way around here. And I do love the peel in place tape. So now this is what I have. So this is what we have right now. We have the top piece and a band. I'm going to turn my template such that my arch now bulges towards me. So the next thing I want to do is pretty much the same thing, but I'm going to put it on the 1 inch line, the R line on the 1 inch and the 11 inch line. So I have my template on the R line being on the 1 inch and 11 inch, depending on which side of the template you're looking at. I'm using peel and place tape to hold it steady. And I'm turning it so it'll be comfortable for me to cut. And I bet you can guess that the next step will be to put it on the 2 inch and the 10 inch line. And now we are finished with our template. And I'm going to turn the paper right side again. Okay, so from the top side, this is what our paper is looking like. So I'm going to take the top band here, this band. I'm going to turn it to the back side and put it together, and I'm going to do the same with the bottom band. And then our single photo will go like this. And essentially, this is it. This is a fast and easy layout. I am going to weld this together. So I've turned the papers over, face down, and I'm going to first weld this top 1 inch band to the middle band. Now, I have two ways that I weld papers together. One is using the tape chips, and the other is using the tape runner in a manner where each little tab of tape runner is on both sides of the paper to be welded, like that. I'm pressing them together to hold the seam as I put a few strips of tape runner on the 2 pages. And that gave me a very nice seam. I'm going to do the same thing now with the top piece. I'm taking care to kind of make sure I push them together pretty tightly. You can see these two are together tightly. So now it's time to get this top piece on nice and tight. That looks good. And so now I'm going to put a 2-inch wide scrap of paper to cover the seam from end to end. And that's going together great. So I just needed to press down those seams in those little areas where it seemed to want to buckle. Now let's do the bottom. And here is our layout. It just needs a little decoration. Now I can put it straight like this, or I can tilt it at an angle like this. I think because there's only one photo, I'm going to leave it straight. So I pulled this variety mat card from the Welcome Baby Artsy add-on kit, as well as some embellishments from that Artsy add-on kit. And this is going to make my layout. This is simple. Only one sheet of paper was used and a couple of scraps to kind of weld everything together. Pulling a few embellishments from the pack. I think I will embellish a little bit more, but this is an idea of when you have that last sheet of paper and you really want to stretch it and get the most out of it you can use this welding technique. You could also just cut 2 strips with that arch custom border template and lay it down on the paper. You would need more paper to do that, but frankly, you wouldn't need any more than I used to weld those pieces together, so you could do it that way as well. But I really liked using the both sides of this same paper. And here is our layout, and it turned out quite lovely. I pulled embellishments from the Welcome Baby Artsy add-ons, and I also used deep sea green to punch this date. I use this date punch. It is one of my favorite punches, and I punched it in deep sea green to put this here. I pulled out some vellum that came from an autumn collection a couple of years ago, and I used the gum leaf punch to punch these embellishments here. The cattails and the rainbow shape came from Artsy Add-on, as well as this variety mat card. Overall, I like this layout. I want to make this style again, and I thought it was nice that it only used one sheet of paper to get this effect. I hope you liked it. It was super fast and easy. And if you do like more fantastic borders to make your scrapbook layouts, please, there's a playlist on this YouTube channel, and YouTube also says there's another video you'd like, so I hope you'll watch it.